Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, and today's tutorial is on how to do a subcutaneous shot. In particular, this is testosterone cypionate. This is an injectable vial. It is the medicine that we use for testosterone replacement therapy. A lot of my guys 40 years and above are a little bit on the low side when it comes to testosterone. That usually means decreased energy, decreased drive, brain fog, cholesterol that drives up, muscle that doesn't respond when you go to the gym, erectile dysfunction, mood lability, meaning going back and forth between happy and sad, and then also irritability. Finally, gaining weight. That means eating a little bit of food and then having excessive bloating and fat distribution. So all these things usually are associated with what you expect at 60 to 70 to 80 years of age, but I'm having guys at 30 to 40 years of age experience this. No question, sedentary life, eating a lot of food that's high in carbohydrate and sugar, drinking a lot of alcohol, smoking, being irritated all day long, all adds to that. That's a different video altogether. Women can also suffer from low testosterone as well, but I don't usually use injection. I use cream for women. I'll probably do another video specifically for women at a later date, but if this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe, hit the notification bell to find out when I do new videos, and share this with other people who are a little bit confused as far as what to do. Even though you get your injectables or your needles and your medicine from the pharmacy, sometimes they don't teach you, but I'm just talking about subcutaneous shots. This does not substitute for medical advice, so watch the video, take some notes, bring it to your doctor, or consult me on my website. I'll put the link down below. So testosterone cypionate comes in a vial, is usually covered by insurance if you can get them to approve it. It's classically injected into the muscle. You can either choose a deltoid, a glute muscle, or a thigh muscle. It acts as a reservoir to be released slowly, and by the time most of it is gone, you'll inject again in another week. Your doctor is responsible for checking peaks and troughs to make sure that they're better than before. Typically, the insurance company says that anything less than 300 is hypogonadism or low testosterone, but we go by numbers and we go by symptoms. So if your doctor says you haven't reached 300 yet and he's ignoring your symptoms, you might want to get somebody else as a doctor. So full disclosure, I've been using testosterone cream for the last few weeks because of my below 400 level. I was trying as much as possible not to start it. I was really plateauing with my gains. I gotta tell you, this is gonna be the first time I ever give myself a shot, and I don't like shots, but I'm just doing it for you guys. But since starting the gel, this has been spectacular. I hopefully am at physiologic levels. We'll be checking my levels soon, but I'm actually able to double the exercise. I just mentioned on my social media that I'm doing 2-a-days in preparation for Colorado, and I don't think I'd be able to tolerate 2-a-days with the restrictive caloric feeding that I'm doing without the testosterone. Muscle responsiveness is like I'm in my 20s and 30s and I'm 59. Sleep is good. Problem solving with brain algorithms is really quick. And it's true, when you do get on testosterone supplement, whether it's gel, injection, or pellet, your own endogenous testosterone will decrease. My theory is that if you can get enough testosterone in, build up and change your lifestyle as best as you can, maintain that new lifestyle, new nutrition, new level of health. Hopefully in the future, I'll be able to wean down on either injectable or cream and maintain what I gained. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a rough patch when endogenous testosterone will have to click back on in stopping the exogenous testosterone, but I can get through that because of my newfound lifestyle change. Bottom line, with all the healthy lifestyle I was going through, my testosterone sucked and it wasn't getting any better. So I can do all the waiting I wanted to with everything I was doing. I was low T. So for the video, I'm just going to do 25 milligrams of an injectable testosterone. First off, it's very important to identify on the bottle that you do have the product you are asking for. Then you take your alcohol swab, clean off the top. Even though you pop the cap off, it's important to clean off the cap. Let this sit over here, don't touch the cap. And then you get your needle ready. This is a sealed 25 gauge 3 ml syringe. This is sterile, so you open it up from the butt end and you grab the butt, pull it out, discard the paper. If you watched my last video, I like to make sure that the plunger is working properly. Take off the cap. You put the needle on the round target in the middle of the rubber, insert it, turn the whole complex upside down. So for the purposes of this video, all I want is 1/4 of an ml, also known as a cc. 1 is an ml, half is right here. So I want to bring the plunger right to about 1/4. So all I'm gonna do is make sure the needle's in the fluid and draw up 1/4. Hopefully you can see that there's about 1/4. The meniscus or black edge comes to 1/4. Leave the plunger at that level, pull the needle out. You might get some air, you probably heard that. Put the vial down, There's an air bubble in there. I don't want that going into my subcutaneous tissue. So you tap so that all the oil falls to the bottom, all the air goes to the top, and then you just burp the extra air out until it's just nothing but oil, and you are going to have some leak, and that's okay. That is more or less 1/4 of a cc. So I think the easiest way to do this is on the abdomen because there's not that much fat and it's easy to show you. So I'm going to pick a block on my abdomen, which is this block here. If you're not sure where you're going and you have to clean off and you're going to put your alcohol back down, you might want to mark where you're going so that when you come back to it, you don't forget. All you're going to do is inject underneath the tissue. You don't have to squeeze that hard, but if you just pick. So the first time you do this, it's going to be white knuckle, as I tell my guys. This is not going to be in the muscle. It's just going to be subcutaneous. So you're just going underneath the skin. You got to make sure you're underneath the skin. So what I sometimes do is see if you can tent up the skin. And you don't have to be in muscle. You don't have to aspirate because there is no muscle here, but I'll go ahead and aspirate anyway, and there's no blood coming back. And then you just inject into the subcutaneous tissue slowly, and I could hear a little bit of air escape, but that's okay. Sometimes Z-tracking will help you as far as not leaking out, and then you just take it out. So Z-tracking, check out my other video on Z-tracking, and usually what I'll do is take the needle instead of recapping. I don't think recapping is a good thing. Please don't recap, just put the needle into your sharps box. It stung a little bit, and that was my first one, but it wasn't too bad. I still think I'd stick with the gel to it, but it's probably a lot less painful than the muscular shot. So in general, subcutaneous shots are less painful than intramuscular shots because in intramuscular shots, you go through skin, then you go through muscle. Muscle does have nerve ending. In subcutaneous shots, you just go through skin and you bury it underneath there. And typically underneath the skin, in the subcutaneous area, there's not that much nerve. That's why I like this approach. However, I will tell you that the endocrinology community doesn't really embrace subcutaneous injections of testosterone cypionate or testosterone enthionate. But because of the transgender female to male individuals experimenting with subcutaneous shots and having success with maintaining serum testosterone levels that way, they've been able to do this without going intramuscular. So it's considered an off-label application, but I think it's worth it. If you're going to be doing TRT temporarily while you advance your lifestyle change or impact lifestyle change, you're going to have to add protein and some exercise. I identify with cardio exercise. I love resistance exercise, but if you're not doing the proper amount of protein to fat to carbohydrate ratio, you should get some help in getting that fine-tuned for your window of the testosterone use. Again, I highly believe that if you can maximize on your lifestyle change while on testosterone, there will be a point in time when you can get off of it. You'll need some help weaning off. You'll need some help building up. But you can ask your doctor, you can consult me. Bottom line, this just gives you another option with regards to testosterone, or this just gives you a little bit more direction as far as subcutaneous shots. If you do just go with cream, that's okay. It's usually not covered, but it can give you just as good of a rise. Please check out my other videos that are coming up on testosterone. If you've been successful with using subcutaneous testosterone, please comment below where you inject, how much you used as far as a fraction of the typical intramuscular, and how often you check levels. But these are all just options to optimize on your health, fine-tune lifestyle change so that we can beat disease, push it back a couple decades, and live the best life we can without suffering. Thanks for watching up to this point. Don't forget to subscribe. See you at the next